Uh, Thanks everybody for coming out for the second live stream. I'm excited to review some songs for you right now. Um, Anya, do we have a order?
No, I just started just sending you one, but right now we can start. Well, yes, technically. So we can start with Jordan. So Jordan Pass.
Okay, Jordan Pass. This song is called "Girls Just Want to Have Fun."
Yeah, let me
I'm
just
just
pull up about his feedback right quick.
okay. I'm just
And
downloading, so you're fine.
okay. So 1 second, Jordan, we about to hear your music. But 1 second. Okay, so Jordan just said basically it's an old remix slash cover that he updated the mix on, mixed to 2 track. He said I'm an artist that engineers basically his own vocals and mixes, etc.
Okay, perfect. So we want to do like just mixed feedback and song feedback.
Let me see. Well, Jordan's in the chat, so I'm trying to see. He just old that I've updated the mix on. I didn't get a specific. I just see that Jordan. Yes. Oh, he said yes, please. So basically everything you just said.
Okay, cool,
Yes.
cool. So let's just give this a listen real quick. Yeah. All right, let's play this.
What if this song was an R&B banger?
Girls just wanna have fun, it's no secret. They just wanna get away for the weekend. Summer vibes, want more, could you ask for? Forget your bag, all you need is your passport. First class ticket overseas. Only blue skies, 35 degrees. Only girls allowed, no drama. It's about to be a hot girl summer. When the working day is done, girls just wanna have fun. They wanna have. Girls just wanna have. When the working day is done, girls just wanna have fun. They just wanna have. They wanna have. Girls just wanna have.
All right. All right, Jordan, good job. I know you mentioned it's a 2-track mix. I think the vocals are actually sitting pretty well for a 2-track mix. I think if you had stems for the production side, we could probably make everything lock in just like a tiny bit more. I was hearing a little S thing, but in looking at it, I don't think it was anything crazy. I think it was just my headphones when I turned my head because I have head tracking on. So yeah, I think that part sounds good. The song is like refreshing. I wasn't expecting that vibe to come from this song off the Girls Just Want to Have Fun. I like everything. Let me play this part real quick.
It's about to be a hot girl summer. It's about to be a hot girl summer. When the work
So the S thing that I'm hearing
is
is this.
girl.
So yeah, about it's like 7K or so. You could probably do like a super tiny notch out there. It actually because it only happens like every once in a while, I'd probably do like a dynamic notch so that it only hits when it crosses that threshold. Let's listen here.
It's about to be a hot girl summer. When the working day is done, it's about to be a hot girl. It's about to be a hot. It's about to be a hot girl. It's about to be a hot.
Okay, yeah, after playing it with that. So it's more like 8800 on the frequency side. I think if you just notch that out with like a dynamic band so that it only happens when the S's are hitting, that's like the main noticeable thing that I heard. Otherwise, I think the vocals are sitting pretty nice. And then as far as the song, I feel like it was performed pretty well. I think
It's about to be a hot girl summer. When the working day. It's about to be a hot girl summer. When the working day is done, girls just wanna have fun. It's about to be a hot girl summer. When the working day is.
the only other thing is like that part right there where that background vocal plays with the lead vocal. I think it like adds a good dynamic to the record. So I feel like I would probably want that to be a little more prominent. I know normally you want your background vocals kind of tucked and stuff, but in this specific moment of the song where everything's dropping out, I feel like that would have a huge effect if it came in a little bit more prominent there. But otherwise, I think it's a great job, especially for a 2-track mix. I was going to ask you, maybe you can answer in the chat. Are you using like track spacer or something like that to get the vocals to fit into the 2-track better? Let's see.
You can submit the cartestlive.com.
I didn't hear back from Jordan, but yeah, if you are using track space or whatever, it sounds good. It sounds like the vocals are not too on top of the beat. They are a little on top, which is expected with a 2-track. Oh, that one over here, I do have it now. Okay. Yeah, I feel like the vocals are like a tiny bit forward, which could probably be fixed if you had stems, but for a 2-track, I think the vocals are sitting pretty nicely. All right. And then let's move on to this next one. I know we started a little
Okay.
bit late, so we'll stay a little bit later as well, but try to
Let's
keep moving
see.
if we can.
So the next person that I've been seeing, basically, we'll do Kino.
Crackle.
So
Kino.
Kino from YouTube, yes.
All right,
And
so this
Kino,
is Showstopper. Okay, and what was his what was he looking for?
1 second. Or did I type this wrong? Oh yeah, Kino. Sorry, there's someone else. I think they had a similar name.
That's all
So
good.
just overall feedback. They said that they sang, mixed, and mastered it.
Nice. Just wearing all the hats at one
All the
time.
hats.
All right, all right. So let's get this loaded up in here. Cool. Waveform looks legit. Let's give this a listen.
Oh my licha, you know go so far, so far. You do sweet my body, make I give you jara, jara. Anytime you come, my brain go this cat,
That's the vibe.
so you know go so far, so far.
You made my day, made my day, made my day, made my day, girl, you made my day, yeah. The way you walk in a room, girl, I light up the place, every head at the turn, yeah. I swear, girl, you shine like beam. Not gonna lie, girl, you're the best I've seen. And girl, the presence is giving me queen. You steal my heart, but it's yours, you can keep it, yeah. Girl, the way that you glow, where you glow, where you glow. You're the star of the show, of the show, of the show. By your aura, girl, you bring peace, you bring peace, you bring peace. You know what drugs, girl, you made us free, so we have to enjoy the scene. Showstopper, yeah, that are you, yeah, yeah, you, yeah, yeah, you, yeah. Showstopper, yeah, that are you, yeah, yeah, you, yeah, yeah, you, yeah. Showstopper, girl, that are you, yeah, yeah, you, yeah, yeah, you, yeah. Showstopper, yeah, that are you, yeah, yeah, you, yeah, yeah, you, yeah, yeah, yeah. Say, Showstopper, Showstopper.
All right. I love the song. The song's a vibe. Definitely I'm super into like island type things. So super vibe on the song. What I'm hearing is in the vocals, and this is like a mix thing, it's not necessarily a master thing or anything. This frequency here, this 296. Let's play this.
Oh my licha,
So that frequency I hear come in a little bit. With the vocals, it sounds like, so in the top end, like it's shiny and it's not like too harsh, but I can hear that it's being processed to keep it from being harshed. Whether that's a de-esser or something that you have going on in there, it might be hitting a little bit too hard on there. I would probably try to figure out maybe another way to make the attenuation on those S frequencies like a little more transparent. Sometimes using a dynamic EQ here and kind of notching out those things instead of hitting the de-esser so hard helps. Or I'm not sure where you have the de-esser like in your actual chain for the vocals. But you could even use 2 de-essers if you needed to, if you have something in your processing that's adding more top end after your de-esser, and you could probably hit 2 de-essers and just back off on the de-essers a little bit, so you're kind of spreading out the work between the two. We'll probably smooth that out a little bit more. Otherwise, the master, it sounds good. I think you probably have room to come up like a dB or so more on the master if you want to like compete with everything else. It's not super quiet or anything. Just in looking at the metering, you could probably get another dB out of that. But otherwise, I think it's a great song. The all the backgrounds, everything, like everything's recorded well. Not mad at any of that at all. I think that was a good job there. Let's see in this chat. All right. And yeah, was this as far as like mixing wise, like is this a 2-track beat, or is this a like full stem, like you had all the stems to kind of to mess with here? I see you in the chat there, Kino. I'll wait to see if you respond.
Anthony, you can just submit by going to the cartestlive.com. That's where you can submit for potential feedback. You just got to stay active in the chat, participate, bring the good vibes.
Yeah, so 2-track beat. It was again, like with stems, you'll probably get things to lock in a little bit more. I felt like the vocals, they're not like arguing with anything, but I feel like there could be a little bit more space between them. Normally with that, I would either cut some low mids, like I was talking about at that 296. Even if you added a little more top end, just be careful with the top end. I know because there's a de-esser clamping down. So just be careful with that. I see you said you use track spacer. Yeah, for anybody that's like in the chat and you're mixing 2 tracks and you don't have access to all the stems and you're worried about like the vocals being too on top or feeling a little too separated from the 2-track, track spacer is a great tool to kind of alleviate that a little bit. I wasn't mad where the vocals were sitting. I just felt like they could probably be EQ'd like a tiny bit more just to put them in their own space a little bit more. But otherwise, I think great job. Good job, Kino. All right.
Yeah, Kino. Okay. So up next we have, let me just make sure something. Okay. So next we have Black Castles. I believe that's how you say their name.
All right. So it's called Hollywood Nights.
Hollywood Nights, yes. So they just basically said, Black Castle said, any general feedback would be nice. They said, I'm the artist, solo producer, and engineer of this song.
Okay,
I
so they
think I
made the
could use
beat.
some tips. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So they made the beat also.
Mm-hmm.
And
They
so I'm
said, I think I
assuming.
could use some tips.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm assuming because you made the beat, you probably have all the stems for the mix. Just looking at the waveform, this looks like a master. So let's give this a listen. Let's turn
Yeah, they
on
just
my
want
car
tips,
real
mostly
quick.
in the mixing area. Mhm.
Cool. Let's play. Okay, I like the chords.
Party all night long. Party all night long. Party all night long. Party all night long. From the club to the after party, all night to the early morning. I ain't on pills, ain't got no drugs in my body. I'm in the hills with these hoes, let her get naughty. I took her to the back and I asked her what to do. Can you make it clap, baby? You know what to do. We headed to the house, so we fucking in the coupe. Are you in, are you out, or you staying with? Party all night long. Shake that ass, baby girl, drop it. Like the east side.
All right, so the beat is super tight. I really like the beat. I like that big like stadium kind of epic shit going on. Chords are super fire. In the hook, the vocals, I mean, even in the vocals all in general sound a little bit low for me. I know with having those big chords with those synths, they kind of occupy some of the vocal frequency space. So maybe try to do some EQ stuff to kind of let the vocals pop out a little bit more there. You could also boost the vocals a little bit more. The other thing that I was hearing was this like 9,900 frequency, like 10K or so in the vocal, like on the T's and the S's. They're cutting through the mix more than anything else on the vocals. So I'd probably try to attenuate those somehow. It looks pretty surgical, so you could probably get away with using like a Pro Q like this with the dynamics. Let's see if we can pull some out just a little bit. Let's try it here.
Party all night long. Shake that ass, baby girl, drop it to the floor. Like the east side boys, girl, get low.
Yeah, so it comes out a little bit in 12K also. You might just experiment with like a Fab Filter de-esser where you can set the range. And I would probably set like 10 to 16K. Let's see if we can just pull this up. Fab Filter de-esser. So you can set the range here. If you double click, you can just type in what you want. We can leave it at 14. Let's just see.
Shake that ass, baby girl, drop it to the floor. Like the east side boys, girl, get low. You a eater, you a dig red bone. Tell her from head to toe. Why would I do you wrong? Oh. Shake that ass, baby girl, drop it to the floor. Like the east side boys, girl, get low.
All right, so yeah, I mean, just using this de-esser from this range, like maybe try to throw this on your vocal chain to take that out. It took him out a little bit. It's also obviously affecting the whole song, so definitely just do this on the vocals. That was the biggest thing that stood out was those S's poking through, and then the vocals seem a little bit low on like a big energy record like this. We want to make sure, especially in the hook, that the vocals are big and stand out and they're not getting lost in the production. So I would say, yeah, like try to figure out a balance more between your big chord instruments and your vocal and carve a little space for your vocal to fit. The beat is super fire though, like super fire. I'm super, like this beat is amazing. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for that. As far as the song goes, the song's cool.
Can you make it clap, baby? You know what to do.
Yeah, like you know, you sound like you're not nervous on the microphone. You sound like you've done this before. You know, keep repetition going. It's only going to get better from there. But yeah, I'm not hearing much anything crazy on the delivery or anything. It's really just those few mix elements. And I'm not sure if you have something on your you know, when you're doing your master, if you have like an EQ of some sort going on that's boosting top end, that's probably also bringing out those S's. And not to take that top end away because it's cool for the mix. Just know that if you're going to do that on your master, try to prepare for that in your mix by using the de-esser a little bit more or surgically taking out some of those frequencies. But yeah, overall, good job. Great job. Let's stop that one there. And then let's hide this. Let's, what do we, who's next on the list here?
Okay, so up next we have Tito. So Tito with the studio.
All right. And it looks like this is called Rida.
Yeah.
Download this real quick here. And then what's Tito looking for as far as feedback?
It looks like it was just like the vocals. So it said vocals on 2-track needs to get better.
Got you. So this is another 2-track beat where we're mixing vocals into it. I know, you know, this is a common thing when people are mixing. We'll listen to this. The waveform looks pretty flat in the master side, so there's probably a lot pumping into this. That could just be from the 2-track itself. Let's just give this a listen and see what's going on. Okay.
I'm cool on you, bitch. You let another nigga fuck you. Let a nigga touch you. Let a nigga slut you. I'm cool on you, bitch. You let another nigga fuck you. Let a nigga touch you. Let a nigga hug you. Bitch, I can't fuck with you, you broke, I'm sorry. 30 in the back, asking heads, do they party? So many heads lump, man, this shit'll get gnarly. Tryna ride this wave, nigga, you gon' be salty. Nigga, don't play in my faces, I'll pop you. Nigga, I'll drop you. Nigga, that's my word too. I'm cool on you, bitch. You let another nigga fuck you. Another nigga touch you. Another nigga slut you. You ain't never seen no G's, so I showed you. Ain't never rode foreign till I came and got you. You was kinda pop too, I just let it slide through. And I'm barking down your street, nigga, this a SRT. The boys dumb as fuck if they never think about chasing me. 100 G's up, nigga, yeah, I say that faithfully. Nigga, use a pipsqueak, you ain't got no fucking chin. I'm wrong with this switch and this thick ass bitch. And she looked me in my eyes and said, baby, I'm a rider. She just wanna ride in this fat ass foreign. She said her nigga used to pick her up in a Honda. The boys on the side, and when this got behind, babe, put your seatbelt on, babe, cause we about to smoke 'em. There's too much shit up in this car, I can't pull over. This is not a striker, baby, no, this whip ain't stolen. Hit a right, hit a left, babe, watch how I control it. She said, babe, when you shoot the car, it had me soaking. She said, babe, when you tip the car, it had me soaking. Ay, I pray we make it home, so I can bust it open. She said, babe, Got behind, babe, put your seatbelt on, babe, cause we about to smoke 'em. It's too much shit up in this car, I can't pull over. This is not a striker, baby, know this whip ain't stolen.
All right. I like the start of the song and everything. It sets up real nice. I like the intro vocals, all of that. For me, the biggest thing that immediately stands out is the bass line. I know you just have a 2-track. It just sounds like there could be some like sub information, like more sub information. It's kind of feels like a low mid, kind of heavy on the bass line. So it's not much of like a pillow for the vocals. It kind of just plays in that low register of where the vocals are a little bit. I know you had a 2-track, so that makes it a little bit more difficult to fit the vocal inside of everything. If you're not using track spacer, maybe check track spacer out just so maybe you can alleviate that with the 2-track. The vocals, you could also play with maybe a little saturation, even in parallel, like a decapitator in parallel or something, to kind of add a little different color to them, and maybe that'll get them to stick out a little bit more. Just looking at the waveform, like even the loudness levels, I know everybody's trying to compete and be at like -6 and all of that stuff. I think this one actually, the loudness wouldn't be an issue if the bass line was mixed a little bit cleaner. I think because the bass is there when you start using your limiters and stuff, it's bringing that bass tone out even more. And then on top of that, the little synth plucky sound that's playing is very it's very bright, so it cuts through the mix, which is nice, but it's brighter than the vocals, which is, you know, that's a decision for you. Me personally, anything that has more top end or sounds brighter than the vocals for me is normally going to be like hi-hats or the top end of the snare, you know, cymbals, crashes, things like that. My lead, I probably wouldn't have brighter than the vocal. If anything, it would be as bright. And right now that lead instrument feels a little bit brighter than the vocals, which make the vocals feel like they're not sitting 100% locked in inside the mix. I know you don't have a lot of control over that. You might be able to mess with, just because in hearing that sound, that plucky sound, it's very stereo. So let's throw this on. So yeah, like all this right here, this is where like the human ear hears the best. So you're gonna hear a lot of your vocal stuff in here as well. So you might see if I go into side.
I'm cool on you, bitch. Let a nigga fuck you. Let a nigga touch you. Let a nigga slut you. Let the boys on the side. And when just got behind, babe, put your seatbelt on, babe, cause we about to smoke 'em.
So yeah, just in doing that, in the sides of that sound, like the vocals sound like they came a little bit more forward in the mix, which I personally like better. You could use, I see somebody mentioning using multiband compression. That could help as well. Any kind of multiband processing could help. But as you see here, when I pulled out some of this 1800 out of the sides where that main lead instrument is playing, it softened it up a little bit and allowed the vocals to kind of take charge. I think that's the biggest thing. Like when you're dealing with a 2-track, you know, sometimes you're limited. Like if the bass doesn't sound right, you can only do so much. The drums don't sound right, you can only do so much. But always try to have the vocals popping out to where, not where they're on top of the beat or anything, but where you're not listening to anything else first. And I think in this version, I hear the bass and the lead instrument a little bit more, to where I'm kind of focusing on that, and then the vocals come in. Just try maybe cutting out some of the sides in the 2-track and not in like on your 2 bus, but go to like where your 2-track is and try to do something similar to this and see if you can get the vocals to kind of lock in just a little bit more. But yeah, the song sounds tight. Everything else is good. All right, so let's move on to the next one here. Really appreciate all the submissions, by the way. This is super fun for me. I love to I learn from you guys as well. Like you guys are the front line of the future. So y'all are trying things and doing things that you know, I can learn from and add to my repertoire and keep me current in here. So really appreciate all the submissions. Okay, so Anya, what are we who's next on this?
Okay, so up next is
Sakura, all right.
and he said, I wrote and produced this track, Sorry, there's like a motorcycle. I wrote and produced this track. I've tried a few different mixes, but keep going back to the demo. Something about this mix feels right, but I don't know if I'm tripping.
Okay, cool. So we'll do some mixed feedback on here. Sounds like they produced it as well. The song is called Thousands. Yeah, Thousands. And this one has an open verse. Once I pull it up, I'm sure we'll be able to tell where the open verse is. All right. All right, let's give this one a listen.
I just checked my car. I got thousands and thousands. I had to recount. They counted again. Cause I ain't never seen that shit in my life. Told the world, cut the check, here's a knife. And you better make that shit a bitch life. Like, bitch, you already know the price. I had to start doing free shit, ain't doing no one a favor. I'm not Connie, no Jesus, but that bitch call me her savior. I leveled up from the V6, came a long way from that laser. Now I'm a step for that G6, get out of the way when I take off. I just checked my car, I got thousands and thousands. I had to recount, they counted again. Cause I ain't never seen that shit in my life. Told the world, cut the check, here's a knife. And you better make that shit a bitch life. Like, bitch, you already know the price.
This is where the open verse is. You just hear something without the vocals.
Thousands and thousands. I had to recount. They counted.
Yeah, I think it sounds good. I was checking out the beat without the vocals right here just because if you notice, like all the hi-hats, everything is dead center. So I think you could probably maybe even like automate some panning stuff just to get a little bit more out of those hats and kind of make them a little bit more noticeable in the mix. The vocal mix sounds really good to me. I like the vocal mix a lot. The bass line, like the notes, everything is amazing. I'm like a big bass person. I spend a lot of time on my bass. I would probably add just like a touch more of like a sub information, maybe even with like a mag EQ. Let's pull that up and just see. This is like a little, especially with like, I know that you produce it, so it might not be a 2-track, but when on my regular mixes and in 2-track mixes, sometimes if the bass is, if I want to add just like a tiny bit more, I'll play with these bottom 3 knobs here.
I had to start doing free shit, ain't doing the price. I had to start doing free shit, ain't doing no one a favor. I'm not Connie, no Jesus, but that bitch call me her savior. I leveled up from the V6, came a long way from that laser. Now I'm a step for that G6, get out of the way when I take off.
Yeah, so for me, I would want to hear like these 2 knobs, maybe like a notch up, just to add like just a little bit more of the super sub of it. But even if you don't do that, it's still balanced pretty well there. Biggest thing for me was, I think you can get a little bit more out of those hi-hats if you move them around throughout the mix a little bit, or move them to the side just a tiny bit so they poke through more. I like the rhythm of the hi-hats and the little rolls and everything, I think add to the song feel. So I would just like to hear those a little bit more. But other than that, I feel like the vocal mix sounded good, bass sounded good. You could maybe try, and this could even be on your 2 bus. Let me just see real quick.
I had to start doing free shit, ain't doing no one a favor. I'm not Connie, no Jesus, but that bitch call me her savior. I leveled up from the V6, came a long way from that laser. Now I'm a step for that G6, get out of the way when I take off.
Yeah, I think this little like 0.5 boost at 20K kind of opens the mix up a little bit to give you a little bit more width. Yeah,
Curtis, quick thing.
sure.
They asked, could you move your plugin to like the middle of the screen? It's like off to the
Oh,
side.
yeah, hold on. You guys are on a delay, so let me see. This should be the spot.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
That's pretty good. That might be a little bit over, but yeah,
To the
that's
you want it
a
more to
little
the
bit
left?
to the
I
left,
see.
just a little
It's at,
bit.
no, the screen's like on a delay to me, so I'm like waiting to see where it's at.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So sorry about that. I moved over a little bit. These are the bands. So you have the sub band here, you have 40 hertz, and you have 160. Normally, I'll try boosting all three of these, just 0.5. This one, when I take away the 160, the vocals fit better in the mix. So I'm hearing, just super sub stuff there that maybe you could add. I also added this 0.5 at the 20K, which help open up the mix a little bit. So you can experiment with that. This one here you could probably put on your two bus, or if you have like an instrument bus or like a beat bus before going into your stereo processing, maybe try that there. But otherwise, I think everything worked out really well on this song. Song super tight. Yeah, not much else to say on that one. Great job, Sakura. And I see, Sakur, you on your email, you put that you said platform. So I'm assuming you're on the engineer's platform. That's super dope. Glad to see all of our platform users on here as well. All right, so let's roll into the next one. And
Yes,
what?
so we have Charlie J. Williams from Instagram.
Okay, cool. Instagram.
He's been real active in the chat. Just been helping everybody out, giving some information and everything.
Nice. We always love that. We love the community vibes here. We're all trying to get better, including me. So if y'all got tips for me, let me know as well.
I do want to ask you though,
Sure.
even though they've mentioned it in the chat, but just to hear from your side, I've noticed people ask, "What is Track Spacer?" So do you mind explaining what that is?
Yeah, it's just a plugin. There's not a lot of controls on it really, but it allows you to duck certain frequencies in sidechain to your vocal. So anytime your vocal frequencies, like the main frequencies, are hitting, it'll kind of duck the 2-track just in those frequencies while everything else stays intact, which kind of helps with, especially if you get a 2-track and obviously they're putting like limiters, compressors, maybe even
Right.
EQs, things like that on there to where the producer doesn't have a vocal while they're doing their mix of their beat. So they tend to just, make everything sound really big. And sometimes that doesn't leave enough room for the vocals to kind of fit inside of the beat. And then on top of that, like you get a 2-track that's already limited and squashed, and then you turn it down, and then you add your vocals, and then you go and limit it and squash it again. So you kind of start losing some dynamics a little bit. So Track Spacer and working dynamically kind of preserves some of those transients to keep hitting where they're supposed to, and allow the vocals to kind of shine without getting lost in the track, and kind of sets them within the sounds instead of feeling so on top of everything.
Oh, okay. So like Nylak and Blacksmith, they both asked. They said so it's a dynamic EQ basically, and then Blacksmith asked.
Kind of. It's not really labeled as a dynamic EQ. It's really just dynamic processing. I don't know the ins and outs of the behind the scenes of what that is, but you'll see visually, like when you put it in there, they have like a window that's visual there, and it'll show the signal ducking. So there is some like dynamic EQ ducking. I don't know if they also are adding any sort of saturation or compression as well. But there is definitely some EQ stuff that's going on in there. And yeah, if you don't have Track Spacer, feel free to pull out a FabFilter Pro Q3 and use the dynamic, or 4, and use the dynamic EQ thing, and then set your threshold to where, because that's really where it's at. You're trying to set your threshold to where it's not doing too much, but it's doing just enough to where it's going to fit in the record at those moments.
Okay, and then I was just asking, like Blacksmith asked, is this for the final mix bus? I'm assuming that's still related to the
For-
same thing, the
for
Track Spacer.
Track Spacer. I would probably put it on like your 2-track channel, and then have it have the key input from your vocal chain, so that it's it's ducking your vocals before it's hitting any processing that you might have on your stereo bus or your master bus. Either way.
Gotcha. Okay.
It looks like somebody posted a link to Track Spacer in the chat on Twitch here.
Hey.
So if you're in Twitch, definitely click on that. Waves Factory makes that plugin, so go to wavesfactory.com if you would like, and check out their audio plugins and look for Track Spacer.
I see one last thing.
Sure.
In the YouTube chat, K Schools asked, if an artist already released songs that could use better production, would you recommend re-recording and re-releasing those songs?
It's really on the artist, to be honest. I know like with label situations, we've definitely got like tracks have been released and then and replaced. Actually, you've probably seen it most recently on the SZA album. She had dropped the album and then or the deluxe of the album and then had put on there on the new songs that were added, that they were, you know, going to fix up something that in the mix, and then they just re-uploaded to DSP. So you can always go back and re-upload your stuff if you would like, but it's really on the artist at that point. Or, you know, if you have a relationship with the artist, maybe speak to them and be like, this is what I'm hearing. I think we could have a better representation of the song if we did this, and it's kind of still going to be in their court. But definitely don't be scared to speak to your clients and be like, yo, we can make this better. And as far as, yeah, if it's post-production stuff that you want to add, then that's definitely a conversation to have with the artist, because that's, you know, you're going to be adding notes, adding composition. So you would want to, you know, work that out with the artist and make sure they're on board. And then, yeah, if everybody's on board, you can definitely re-upload your stuff to DSP.
Nice. Yes.
All right. So we've got
Charlie J. Williams.
So we got Charlie here. It looks like the song is called YSL. If you can see the waveform here, there's a lot of dynamics, which I like. So I think that's going to be good. And go ahead, Anya.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, yeah, Charlie just wanted overall mixed feedback, and he's on Instagram.
Okay, perfect. Let's give this one a listen. All right, so it looks like this one's just a beat. I'm not hearing any vocals, which is probably why we see all of the dynamics. I like the punchiness of the drums. I like, you know, where the clap and stuff is hitting. The kick to me feels a little bit a little weak. I think you could add some weight to the kick. Like the punch of the kick is there, but I feel like some weight could be added. And then the other thing is that the bass itself is like not a super subby bass. And it feels like a little bit low. Without vocals, obviously we're missing some sort of frequency range in the mid range. But I feel like the low end overall could come up and pop more, especially in this genre of music. The clap and percussion, all that stuff sounds pretty punchy and cool. Let's see if let me try this.
I just wanted to say, Nifty from Instagram said, just want to say I'm rocking with that flannel.
Oh, yeah. Actually, you know what's funny? This flannel is from Amazon. So yeah, you can go to Amazon and check that out.
Nothing special.
It's crazy because I think I had like gotten this flannel and another one in a different color, like when we were on the road and it was freezing somewhere, and I just ordered it and it came through, and like I wear it all the time. It's like one of my best Amazon
I feel that. I love
purchases.
flannels.
Man, I love flannels so much. And it's like, you know, you never know what to expect when you order on Amazon, but this is one of the best purchases I had on there. Let's try to see what happens if we add a little with the mag, if we add a little low end to what we're hearing. Yeah, I think it adds a little bit when we have the low end. And then with I boosted this this 40K a little bit. When you add the low end in, you're probably gonna need to like bring the instrumentation out a little bit more. It's the balance is gonna change a little bit. But I think yeah, definitely I would like to hear the low end like more in this genre of music and on the beat. And then that will let all the low end live in that range, and it'll also kind of move that bass line a little bit down the spectrum to where the drums kind of poke through just a tiny bit more. And then you'll have enough space. It sounds like with the instrumentation, it's kind of like the synth or whatever that's being used right there is more in the lower register. So I feel like the shine of the vocals will probably cut through like really nice on the beat itself. And then let me actually. Yeah, you might even be able on that synth. You might be able to widen it a little bit. Maybe. Let's see here. Let's try this here. Yeah, you could probably get away with a little bit more width on the instrumentation part itself, which will kind of move it out of the way as well when vocals do get added to it. But yeah, I would probably do those couple things to the beat, and then once you get vocals in, you're gonna have to, you know, print your stems, put them all together, and then try to rework them a little bit so everything works out together. But that's what I'm hearing on just the beat mix there. All right. Get the chat.
Okay.
Oh,
All
I'm
right.
sorry. Yeah, they hold on one second. Let's pull. I think my my imager plugin was off to the side, so they didn't really get a good view of that. Sorry, there is a bunch of tracks in here. Let's see where we're at. It was a isotope imager as well. And what I did was I just split up the bands a little bit. Let me just re-import this.
Just real quick, just to let y'all know, every Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern, you can submit your music for a chance to have it have Curtis listen to it and provide feedback. So all you need to do is participate and just be active in the chat.
All right, so this plugin is like it's like a wide plugin. Let me just try to see on the screen here where the best place to put this is. Yeah, it's just a big plugin for the vertical view. Really all I did was I split my band into two and left the low end part where it's at, and then I just boosted the width a little bit above where the low end was at. All right, so let's hop into the next one. And who do we have next, Anya?
So next we have K Schools. He's in
Perfect.
YouTube right now. And yeah, just overall, audio feedback, excuse me.
Okay, let's see. Trench Gospel. I like the name already. All right. And so, I'm sorry, Anya, you said overall mixed feedback.
Oh, I think I have myself muted. Yeah, audio feedback. Yeah, I was just basically telling everyone again, every Monday at 3 p.m. PST, 6 p.m. EST, you can submit your music for a chance to have Curtis listen to it and provide feedback. All you need to do is just participate, just be active in the chat, bring good vibes, and then we'll look into, picking you.
Okay, perfect. So let's get into this one. I think after this, I know we started a little bit late, so we're going over. I'm going to try to get through maybe two more after this. And then anybody that's submitted that I didn't get to review, just make sure you submit next Monday for us so I can review your stuff here as well.
Yeah, definitely come back. We here.
Yep. All right. Okay.
K Schools, Ty
Hold on, I just gotta say this opening intro is like the box. Nice.
K schools, Ty Sav. This for the trenches. Yeah. This for the bird. For all them niggas that had it at they worst. Shake back, king. Shake back. Yeah.
Tell 'em, hey. Every city has projects, every slums has a trench. All these wars I object, hit my signal of distress. In the burg, it's a mess, from the pills to the meth, poverty and drug infest. Every city has projects, every slums has a trench. All these wars I object, hit my signal of distress. In the burg, it's a mess, from the pills to the meth, poverty and drug infest. Stroll with me, I'll show you comfortably. Take a look around, you know exactly what you see. Half the city broke, forced to live below the means. Investing money in police, still no peace. Adding legal killers with badges in the streets. But my bro still got a lot of mouths to feed. So what you think, if we see him, we don't speak. We was forced to starve, they threw his bones and kept the beef. Forced to hunt for prey, we grab our tools and flame the heat. Hardwired in our brain, our false realities. Victim, you know, mentality. How can I go to sleep? I need to herd the sheep. Every time one scatters, I go get him and retreat. Until the message gets received, the cycle will repeat. Until the message gets received, the cycle will repeat. Until the message gets received, the cycle will. Every city has projects, every slums has a trench. All these wars I object, hit my signal of distress. In the burg, it's a mess, from the pills to the meth, poverty and drug infest. Every city has projects, every slums has a trench. All these wars I object, hit my signal of distress. In the burg, it's a mess, from the pills to the meth, poverty and drug infest.
Years drug infested, yeah, I'm part of the problem. Wasn't born a scholar, I had to make $1. No food in the fridge, no money in my pockets. I was fucked up, I was damn near out of options. Back against.
All right, yeah, I really like the song. The rappers are killing it. Rappers are spitting some shit right there. I did these little EQ joints right here. For me, it sounded like the vocals were a little bit too on top of the record for me. And just hearing it, it sounds like the beat might be a 2-track. Yeah, I put so this little mid boost down here at 40 hertz for the low end, a little bit at 220 for the drums, like the snare and stuff. I felt like just needed like a tiny bit more body. And then this little side boost is kind of like something that mastering engineers might mess with. The thing is that like the sample of the beat is a little low compared to the drums and the vocal. So in boosting these sides down here and up here, I was trying to get like just a little bit more out of that sample. This one is mid and side, so it kind of brought the vocals out a little bit more as well. Obviously you have more control in your session. Otherwise I like the beat. The production was nice. Everything was cool. I think it's just some mixed stuff here where you could bring some of the low end out. If you do have the stems for this, you could probably do this a lot better than I did. But just so we can hear, let's just do a little quick A and B real quick.
City has projects, every slums has a trench. All these wars I object, hit my signal of distress. In the burg, it's a mess, from the pills to the meth, poverty and drug.
So yeah, and bringing up that low end, that low sub in some of the sample, the vocals kind of fit a little bit better in the mix for me. They don't sound so much on top. If you do have the stems and everything, you could do this without kind of like affecting everything at once, so that the separation kind of stays a little bit. I know with this being on the 2-track, it kind of blends a couple things together that could probably stay separated. But yeah, I think just some sub boost and some 220 or so with the snare to get some of that body there will allow the vocals to stay where they're at and still be all legible and cutting through nicely. But you'll also be able to bring the feeling out of the production a little bit more. Like right now I feel everything out of the vocals, like everything, you can feel all the emotion. I think we just need the supporting instruments to kind of support that same emotion and really drive it home for the listener on that one. But yeah, the rappers are spitting. The rappers are spitting on there. I like the hip hop vibes. All right, let's do this, and then so we're gonna do 2 more. Anya,
Yep.
who is next for us?
Okay, so we have Richie You'll see he's on
Ooh,
Instagram.
real quick, sorry, Anya. I see my boy
Yep.
Rich Lifestyle right here.
Uh-oh. Oh, that's another
Yeah.
Rich. Okay.
Nah, this the homie right here. Rich
Oh,
Lifestyle. I'm talking
uh-oh.
like when I started engineering, like first
Oh
first
man.
studio I'm at, my man was making the
Wow.
beats for everyone. My boy is a beast. He put the beat
Mhm.
is fire. So if he's telling you your beat is fire, I'm telling you your beat is fire. Yeah,
That's
this
dope.
this dude is a slept on secret. If y'all don't know, go check out my boy Rich Lifestyle. My man is damn near Dr. Dre. Uh,
I'll make sure to
no,
put the
I know it's not.
IG
I
in
know
the
that's not
chat
you
and the
that
YouTube.
submitted, Rich. I just seen that. But yeah. So anyway, go check out Rich Lifestyle if you can. I know he's just talking in the chat. But the beat is super
Okay.
fire. Love the beat. One other thing with the beat, with like cymbals and things like that, and those type of hip hop beats, those things kind of drive the grittiness and the emotion of like that patented hip hop sound. So yeah, just keep that in mind when you're messing with that. And then sorry to cut you off, Anya. What are we doing next? Who's next?
No, it was just ironic because you said Rich, because this next person is Richie. So
Oh,
that's why
nice.
I was like,
Oh,
wait.
that's why he was like, it wasn't me. Yeah, no, this is the Rich Lifestyle's the homie, one of the most talented producers I've worked with in general. And yeah, so if you ain't up on him, go peep out my boy. He's dope as fuck. All right.
Dope.
So we'll do
All right.
Richie.
So Richie, you'll also see in IG de Cortez, and basically, yeah, he just wants let me just make sure. Oh, demo mix quality feedback.
Okay, cool. So this is just a demo for people to peep. Okay, bet. It's called Keep Me Up, by the way, if y'all are trying to check out these songs or anything. Let's import this.
Yep. And again, just wanted to tell y'all every Monday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you have a chance to have Curtis listen to your music and provide feedback. You just want to participate in the chat, submit in the form, thecartestlive.com. Excuse me, that's where you'll see the form to submit. Just go there, participate in the chat, and just bring good vibes. And I'll look to see, who I'm going to choose, and we'll go from there.
Okay, fire. So it looks like I'm assuming these are artist names, but it says Rocky and Tips on here. So let's just
Yeah.
let's see what they got going.
You and the money is all I need, all I need. Good to know they don't fuck with me. Let them hate, ain't my problem, be. Don't you mess with my broccoli. Money on my mind, no stopping me. God inside of me, goddamn. You in front of me, and no love will follow me. If you know me, then you'll believe we could be everything. Nothing for me outside. I'd rather me and you inside. Making love till moonlight. Breaking bread together for life. Nothing for me outside. I'd rather be rich than party. Thinking about you in the morning. Two things keep me up and running.
All right, first of all, I just got so the artist is Rocky. I used to work with Rocky when I was with Hitmaker. Great singer. Mix, everything's cool. I like the vocals are sitting like in between the music and stuff. Cool. I did do this little boost on the EQ here. This is really for the snare. I just felt like the snare could come out to the forefront a little bit more because it adds a certain grit to the record. So I would like to hear that out a little bit more. And the other thing was when the bass line comes in, it just sounds like it could be blended into the mix a little bit more. It almost sounds like it could just be like saturation or compression of some sort. I'm always going to be like add a little bit of sub to it because it is like a lower mid register with the bass line there. I know it's like kind of like a live bass thing, but even adding that little bit of low end there will help push it out of the way of that low mid where the snare and everything can live. Obviously, Rocky is an amazing vocalist. She has like a voice of an angel. Super, super tight. So yeah, that's really all I have for this though. Everything sounded nice. There wasn't, too much top end. I know with me working with Rocky a bunch of times, it's very easy to overdo the top end on her vocals, which they didn't sound like that in here. So really appreciated the vocal mixes on this. You said free Rocky. I know, my brother. I know. I didn't want to put all that out there, but you know what I'm saying. She's a great artist. Super tight that you have this record with her too. She's amazing. I've done probably 100 songs with Rocky when I was with Hitmaker. So super tight to hear some stuff I've never heard from her. Very dope. So okay, we're gonna get into doing one last one. Anya, is this from Thomas?
Well,
Or do you
actually,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, it's okay.
Oh, I
Well,
see.
let me
I see.
see.
No, that was me. I see.
I don't know if Thomas is still in the chat. That
No,
was the thing.
that's all right. That's fine.
I don't know
So
if it's the same Thomas. Okay, but the last and final person that we have is Too Nice.
okay,
I've been
cool.
seeing Too Nice really active in the chat as well.
Nice.
Yeah, just overall mix and sound. He's on YouTube.
Okay, bet. Yeah, it looks like this song's called Avocado.
Yeah.
Shout out to your boy Noise, Avocado King. Let's just load this up.
So yes, y'all can come back next Monday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You'd head to the cartestlive.com. You'll see a form. That's where you can submit your music. You participate in the chat, show some good vibes, and then I'll look to maybe, choosing you so you can get feedback from Curtis.
Yeah, y'all better get real nice with Anya over here. She's
Talk to me nice.
yeah, talk to her nice, man. She's sending me these in order. You know what I'm saying?
Or the Nightbot is gonna snipe you. That's just what happens.
Yeah. All right, let's get into this one and see what we got. Oh, I'm sorry, Anya. Did they leave like specific notes or anything that we want to
I saw just
cover?
overall mix and sound. I mean, Too Nice. If you have something else to say in the chat, I mean, you can tell us, and after he plays your record.
Okay, word. Let's try this out.
That's when my grandpops pulled out a Cartier watch that he got from his pops. At that moment, I knew that it was more than a watch. I said, watch this, you can't stop this. Send me negativity, tell me who you gon' hit. Turn this into platinum, I'm just making all these hits. Even on my worst day, you ain't on your best day shit. Y'all just taking up breathing space and taking my shifts. Taking your position like I'm about to hit a lick. Married to the money, what y'all really expect? Visualizing 2025, counting these checks. Y'all just hating cause you know that you haven't had sex. Why y'all boys hating when it's a push of a text? I'm just thinking about the money, who could give a fuck who's next? It's my craft, it's my art, I guess you could say I'm obsessed. Too nice on the beat and then too nice up on the flow. I could give a fuck, I'm just dodging all these hoes. My emotion changing quicker, more than I'm changing my clothes. More than I'm changing my clothes, more than I'm changing these flows. More than I'm changing these hoes, cause I'm telling them no. I'm really too young, but I'm feeling so old. I'm really too hot, but I'm feeling so cold.
All right, yeah, good job on this one. It's I can tell it's a 2-track beat. I think I seen you in the chat say it was a 2-track beat as well. For me, yeah, it's because of the 2-track. It feels like the drums are kind of not hitting where I would want them to hit. But the vibe is cool as hell. I saw somebody put vocals present as hell. They are present as hell. I think part of that's because the drums are kind of low in the mix in general, which makes it kind of hard to not have the vocals feel that way. The one thing I will say about the vocals is I like the grittiness of them. Like I like the real hip hop vibe to them. I can just tell that you have a compressor on there that has a like your attack is super fast, and your release is probably super fast. And I like that sound. Like I like the upfront sound. It's just when you overdo a compressor that has a fast attack, there might even be a gate on there. It makes like the plosives, like the P's and all of that kind of pop a little too much. So whichever compressor you're using that has the fast attack, fast release on there, maybe pull back on the threshold a tiny bit on that, or even go in with like another plugin from RX or something and try to maybe smooth out those plosives a little bit more. I do like the upfrontness and like how it's grabbing the vocal. It just might be a little bit too extreme. And otherwise, yeah, without the stems to the beat, I really just felt like the drums were lacking a lot. And then there's a part where like the sample changes up and there's more going on, and like the vocals kind of cut through the mix differently than they do in the rest of the song, which can all kind of be fixed with stems. But again, if you can't get the stems, something like Track Spacer might work for this, for at least for that part where the sample changes up and kind of switches like what's how the vocals are heard a little bit. But yeah, if there's some way that you could get the stems for this and really mix those drums out, like those drums, if those drums are hitting like they're supposed to, like I feel like this record gets elevated 10 times. But yeah, great job. Otherwise, I think Anya, that's the last one we have, right?
Yeah, that was the last one we're doing for tonight.
Okay, cool.
So
So last one we did for tonight. This is always super fun to me. I think in the future, when we can, we'll probably try to look into maybe extending the amount of time that I'm able to be on here with y'all and look at it. But for now, submit next week on Monday. We'll get through as many as we can in an hour. Next week we won't have the later start time with the technical difficulties, so do apologize for that. But we're here. It's almost 5, so I feel like we stayed our time. Really appreciate everyone coming out. Let's give everybody a little round of applause here. Okay.
round of applause, round of applause.
Yes, applause there. And I'm just looking at the chat to see if there's anything that
Yeah,
that we
I
could
think
throw
Too
in.
Nice was mentioning that it was a 2-track.
Yeah.
I saw something they said I did use automation with low and high pass, so it might sound a little different.
Yeah, it just felt like certain parts, like where the sample switched up, like the vocals like were cutting through differently. But
And
yeah, I
sorry,
mean,
friend, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but Kivrak. Oh, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead, do your thing.
Kivrak, I don't know how to pronounce your name properly, but don't you prefer? They asked, don't you prefer Soothe over Track Spacer for side chaining?
Me personally, I don't do a lot of 2-track mixing anymore. I'm usually only accepting projects that I can have full control over, just because I have my name to put on it and all of that stuff. There are a few records that I have done recently that we did do 2-track stuff with. Fortunately for me, those 2 tracks were mixed to a decent point, so it didn't affect the sound too much. I personally, if I'm using Soothe as a side chain, I'm normally side chaining like a bass to the kick or something like that. I could see Soothe working in this situation as well. You can just pick the mid range if you want, and it'll use your key input, and you'll be able to duck there. So I'm sure that works as well. So if you don't have Track Spacer and you do have Soothe, that is a good opinion there. You could try to get away with using Soothe on that as well. But yeah, I see other people saying like I hate 2-track beats. I know this is the engineer life. You know what I'm saying? I did probably 10 years of doing mostly 2-track beats and things like that. And with your clients that you have good relationships with, definitely have that conversation and be like, yo, we should try to get the beat stems, and this is why. And usually, like in my case, at least, when I started being able to get certain artists to listen to me, and they're like, yeah, let's at least try this. We would do one run where they went and they paid for the exclusive rights, got all the stems, we mixed it, and they were able to see the difference between what the 2-track was versus what the final mix was, and it was an immediate game changer for them. So then they're going in thinking like, okay, I'm going to book you for recording and we're going to record over this 2-track, but they know that they set aside an extra budget, or they know there's going to be extra budget to try to get these exclusive stems for you to mess with, and that also helps build your trust with your client. Like when you're going out of your way to explain something to them that maybe they don't know, or maybe they think it's not that big of a difference, or not going to be, helping educate them and showing that you care about how their music sounds and how other people are going to perceive their music is a very good tool to opening up that relationship and trust with your client, to where when you're making mix decisions later that maybe change from the reference and they have demoitis, like they're going to be a little more receptive to you changing the sound that they're used to. And otherwise,
Yep, that is basically that, and we are gonna wrap it up.
yep, we're gonna wrap it up for the day. We'll get another applause. Thank you everybody for coming out for week 2 of the live stream. We'll be here every Monday.
Every Monday.
Yeah, 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Looking forward to hearing more tracks and giving more feedback and helping everybody along in their journey as an engineer.
Just remember thecartestlive.com. You'll see it when we pop in live next Monday. But just a reminder, thecartestlive.com. You'll see I'm dropping things.
No, you're all right.
My ring light wanted to give up and just stop.
Yeah. The cartestlive.com is where you'll submit to. Get all your submissions in there. Anya's
Yep.
gonna go through and set them up in order for me to go through. So I seen right when I said everybody be nice to Anya, everybody was throwing out
Yeah.
compliments to you and everything. So
Yeah,
I like
appreciate
that.
it.
Let's
Thank
keep
y'all.
that up. I also enjoy the community interaction.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's been real supportive and helpful with each other. And that's
Yeah.
what it's all about, is helping the
Instagram,
next person.
everywhere. Yeah, all platforms. Everybody's just been really involved, and we appreciate that. And that's what I look at. That's what I look for as well. So again, if you guys can just, just participate, like Curtis mentioned, just bring in the good vibes. And like I said, I'll just look in the chat and see who submitted and go from there to, ensure that Curtis can listen to your music. And if we miss you, just try again. I really do try to get to everybody. So yes.
Yeah, I see somebody in the Instagram chat asking if the songs carry over from the week before. We do all new submissions every week, so if you didn't get heard today and you want that song to be heard, just resubmit that song on Monday, and we'll try to get to you
Yeah,
next Monday.
exactly.
Too Nice, I see you asking me what my Instagram is. It's curtis.circuit.by. Let me see if I could just throw this in the chat if y'all wanna.
Oh, someone already put it. K Schools was quick with it.
All right. Yeah, I see. Yeah, you already got it in there. That's cool. I just threw it in there. Anybody that wants to follow, ask questions, whatever, hit me up on Instagram. I'll try to get with all of y'all outside of these lives as well if I can. All about helping the community. Really appreciate everybody here today, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week, y'all. See y'all Monday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yep.